If you're new here, this is Constellation Library. Today we are going to be doing the April gear up. I'm going to be going over the Mystical Library Tarot Chooses My TBR game that I do every month, but in addition to that, I am also going to be doing the Magical Readathon that is hosted by G over at Book Roast. I'll leave a link to her channel to the video for her Magical Readathon that she's starting in April. It's a month-long readathon. It's a continuation of a readathon that she has had for years. It used to be Harry Potter themed, but given everything with Harry Potter, she has kind of moved away from that and tried to make it more her own, and honestly, it's a lot better now than it used to be. So I'm pretty excited to see where she goes from here with it, but because it's an ongoing thing, I've already participated in the beginning items that she had done, and I have a character and they belong to a guild, and now they have a calling. The calling is the prompts that we are doing for April now, is similarly to how you chose your profession, wizarding profession, in the old style. And I've got my background, my province, heritage, all that kind of stuff already picked. If you're curious, my character's name is Ayla, and she is Order of the Crescent. She is an Iltyrian from Dark Meadow. She's a novice, a wilding, and the calling that I'm trying to do is Feywild Cartographer, which is the more lengthy one, and she is from Order of the Crescent. So I have a familiar, which is a magpie, and then my conduit is a bow, and there's a couple other ones like Lunar Phase and Scholar Traits. I don't really know how important those are because it's been a while. I don't really know what the purpose of those are, so I haven't chosen anything for that. Some of that might be later, and just already kind of worked into the character sheet. So it's very much D&D where you do character creation, but it's her world and her creation that you are pulling the ideas from. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we are going to do the card pulls for Mystical Library TBR, and that will hopefully fit well with the prompts that go with the Feywild Cartographer calling that I'm going for with the Magical Readathon. So first we'll pull those cards, and then I will go over the prompts that are for Feywild after that, and then we'll see if I can get books that will fit into both. So we'll head over to my desk and we'll get started with that. Hey friends, welcome back to Mystical Library Tarot Chooses My TBR board game. We are doing our card pulls for the month of April. In addition to this, I am also going to be participating in the Magical Readathon that G is working on over at Book Roast. I believe that at the time of filming this, her video is set to premiere tomorrow. So my goal is to draw my usual 5 cards for this, and then hopefully find some overlap with the prompts that she provides for the Magical Readathon. Those are, at this moment, the only 2 things I think that I am doing read-along or prompt-wise for the month of April. But you never know. There could be something else that pops up. So we'll always keep an open mind around here. Anyway, last month, which I know that video was uploaded not that long ago, but I did this portion of it pretty early in the month or right before March started. We ended on the Hierophant card, and so we are going to just go ahead and jump right into the usual procedures here. I'll go ahead and roll. 3. 1, 2, 3 cups. I always get the ding dang cups. Mother of Cups is roll again. Okay. Put her over here. Roll again. So 7, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Chariot. So this is the Chariot. See what it says. Read a book you already own. That'll be easy. All right. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh. Crystal ball. I don't remember the crystal ball. I never landed on one. So I'll do this quick little doodle for the crystal ball so that I remember. All right. I have no idea what I'm going to pick for that. I need to look through all the prompts and see what books I already kind of wanted to read and see if anything will work. 2 cups again. Father of Cups. The Father of Cups, remove a book from your TBR, swap out for a mood read. Okay. What is with these 7s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moon card. Read a book with spooky, ghost, horror, supernatural elements. Sit here, I guess. It's been a very interesting set of rolls here. 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Devil. Read a book about addiction or mental health challenges. Oh, I'm not really sure that I am mentally prepared for that, if I'm being quite honest with you. I will take the card out of here, but I got a lot going on, and I don't really know that I specifically want to make myself read about mental health stuff or addiction, but so we'll do a bonus roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, moon card. Read a mystery or thriller. All right. So these are my 5. Let me move everything over. Okay, so going back through, I have 6 card prompts, but one of them is one I'm just really not sure. It depends on what book I can find, whether I'm in the mood to read that or not this month. But starting from the top, we have the Chariot, which is to read a book you already own. We have the Crystal Ball card, which is selecting a suit, looking at the cards, and choosing which prompt you'd like to do. So this is basically my choice based on the prompts. Father of Cups is to remove a book from your TBR, swap a book for a mood read. So this will come in handy. This is actually, so really I have 5 prompts, and this one is, you know, I can sub out something else, which I may do for this guy. The Waxing Gibbous Moon is read a book with spooky ghosts, horror, supernatural elements. The Devil is to read a book about addiction or mental health challenges. And the First Quarter Moon is to read a mystery or thriller. So those are the prompts that I have. I will be getting back with you about what books I am deciding to read. Again, like I said, I'm going to do the Magical Readathon. That is coming up April 1st, I believe is when it starts. And the prompts for that are going to be revealed, I believe they're going to be revealed tomorrow. So I will check into that, cross-reference with these, and then select books that hopefully overlap pretty well so that I don't have to read like 10 different things. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching this part, and I will see you guys in a minute with the prompts. Okay, so that is done, and I have chosen books, but first let me tell you what the prompts are for the Feywild Cartographer. So the first prompt is Elemental Studies, which is to read a book under 100 pages. The second is Shape-Shifting, and you need a book that has a creature with claws on the cover. The third is Animal Studies, which is a quick read. The fourth is Astronomy, which is a book from the top of your TBR. The fifth is Alchemy, which is a book featuring romance. The sixth is Inscription, which is an intimidating read. And the seventh is Demonology, a book that has the word shadow in the title. So let's start from the top with what I have chosen. So for my first card pull from Mystical Library, the card was the Chariot, and it's to read a book you already own. So for this one, I picked The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman. I don't know a whole lot about this book, truthfully, other than it just sounds really interesting and has some fantasy elements in it that I am drawn to. It's also supposed to be funny. It's more of your traditional fantasy journey, hero's journey type story. So the premise of this book is that your main character has been essentially training with a thieves guild and owes them a lot of money and is trying to make that money from thieving from people. And he ends up thieving from a knight who is another main character of the story, and their fates kind of get intertwined. And chaos ensues, I'm assuming, from there. Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I have just seen endless praise for this, so I'm pretty excited. I'm hopeful that I'm actually really gonna like it. So that's the first book, and it doesn't really overlap with any of the Magical Readathon prompts. I mean, it does a little bit, but I had other ones that fit it better. So the first book for the Magical Readathon prompts that doesn't go with the Mystical Library TBR is a book under 100 pages, and that is Lady Mechanica Volume 6. I believe that I've read some of this already, but I just got the bind up of it for Christmas, so I want to make sure that I read this one and be done with it, because I saw that they are writing some more. I thought he was done after this, but apparently not. My brother has at the comic shop that he goes to, he gets these for me, the single issues, and I guess he started getting them again. So that's super, super exciting. I love this comic so much. So I'll be reading this for the Elemental Studies, a book under 100 pages prompt for the Magical Readathon. The next book is the first one that overlaps. It was my 4th card pull, which was the Waxing Gibbous Moon card, to read a book with spooky, ghost, horror, or supernatural elements. It also fits, I think, you might find this to be a stretch, but it also fits for a creature with claws on the cover, and that is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. I know these are human hands, but the way that they look like claws, and I'm gonna go with it because I'm gonna go with it. So this one, it's shorter too, and it is one that has been on my TBR for a while. I also got this one for Christmas. I have heard super mixed things about this. I'm not going in with super high expectations, I guess, but I want to read it. I'm curious if I'm gonna like it or if I'm gonna feel like a lot of other people feel about it. I really don't know much about this other than it is a gothic horror / thriller. I think it's kind of ghostly. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect. I know that they're not supposed to go to a crumbling family manor of her fiance, but they end up going there anyway, and it is very freaky. I mean, I don't really know. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Crimson Peak or Jane Eyre or something like that. So I don't know. If you've read this, let me know what you think about it, but I'm gonna give it the old college try. Sometimes I like things that people don't like. We'll see. So yes, this was for the card pull for the moon and for the shape-shifting prompt for Magical Readathon. The next book is one that covers, again, 2 prompts for my Mystical Library. It was the 6th card pull, which was to read a mystery or thriller for the first quarter moon. I ended up drawing 6 cards because I got one that I think had me swap out or take a book off my TBR, which I do have that trump card in my pocket. That is the Father of Cups. Remove a book or swap for a mood read. So I'm keeping this in my back pocket if I decide that I want to do that at some point during this readathon. But I didn't employ it yet, so we'll see if I can get through these. But anyway, this was for reading a mystery or thriller. It also fit for animal studies as a quick read, and that is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. So this is the in-person book club book for April. I have not ever read a Lucy Foley book. I think that the premise of this is that the main character has kind of a rough life, and she needs somewhere to stay, and her half-brother takes her in, but he takes her into his apartment and he's not there. So he has her come and move in there and stay, but he's not there, and nobody knows where he is, and everybody who lives in this apartment is super shady and they're not super friendly. So we don't know if they have something to do with the fact that he's missing or if it's something else entirely. And again, this is another one that I've heard kind of mixed reviews on, but it also sounds super interesting as well. So I don't know all in all how I'm gonna end up feeling about it, but I mean, hopefully I like it. It is a library book. I don't commit always to book club books if I'm not sure if I'm gonna like them, so I got that one from the library as well. So again, it fit with the animal studies quick read prompt, and it fit with the mystery thriller prompt. The next one also is overlapping, and it was my crystal ball pick for Mystical Library, because with the crystal ball you can choose any prompt, and I don't really remember what prompt it was. but it fit one. So I will try to put that information down here, but I just picked it because it's like I think it was honestly like a book that is like a 5-star prediction or something was what I picked. And for the Magical Readathon, I used this book for the astronomy prompt, which is top of your TBR, and that is Between Wrath and Mercy by Jess Wisecup. So this is self-published through Amazon. I know nothing about this author. This, I believe, is her debut, and the premise of this really is up my alley, and I am so hopeful that I like it because main characters are in their 30s, like me. The female main character is a mother, and her child is actually believed to be the chosen one. So often we read stories from the chosen one's perspective, but this is from the mother of the chosen one's perspective. And her daughter ends up getting kidnapped by one of the rival countries. Like there's 3 warring countries, and her daughter gets kidnapped by one of them. And I believe that she has to go to the other one, to the king of that, or the prince of that, the heir. I'm not really sure what he is, but apparently they have history, and she goes against her better judgment and has to ask him to help her find her daughter. And I believe that it's almost got some like elements of a second chance romance in there, and it just is like really speaking to me. I also love the cover. I think the cover's beautiful. It's a bit of a chunker but the premise is just super exciting. I hope it's smutty. I hope there's a little bit of spiciness to this. I don't really know if it will be because it's new. There's not a whole lot of reviews for it either. So we'll see, I guess. But it fit, like I said, for my crystal ball prompt as well as the top of my TBR. I just got this. I'm really excited about it. The next one I don't have physically. It will be an ebook. It did not fit any of the prompts on my Mystical Library game, but it does fit the Alchemy prompt, which was a book featuring romance. So I'm going to give A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair another try. I had intended to read this one for like December or January. I don't really remember, and it just ended up not happening. It might have even been February I was supposed to read it. Regardless, it ended up not happening, but I am going to give it another try because it also is a book that was like the 12 suggestions for the year from friends. So I need to read one of those if I want to keep up with that too. So it fits that, and it also fits the Alchemy prompt, which is a book featuring romance. The next one might seem kind of strange to you. It is an overlap. So for Mystical Library, it is a book about addiction or mental health challenges. So the card I drew was the devil. And I think that this, again, it might be a little bit of a reach, but I have heard a lot of mental health stuff related to this book, so that's why I chose it. It also fits my inscription prompt, which is to read something that intimidates you. And this particular book by itself doesn't super intimidate me, but it's part of a series, and the series intimidates me, and obviously I have to, start it in order to even get into the series, so I felt like it worked for it. And that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So I'm sure after my last video discussing one of Maas's books, you're like, what are you doing? I thought you didn't enjoy this last read. Well, I've had these books on my shelves for literally ever, and I want to give the series a shot. I am also buddy reading with my friend Gabby over at Gabbage Reads on Instagram. I'll link to her Instagram below. And I think she and I are going to buddy read it. I know that was the original plan, so hopefully we'll still be able to do that. And yeah, so mental health rep, I believe, is a thing, as well as this just particular series intimidates me. So yeah. And the final book that I have is one that does not go with my Mystical Library. I've finished all of those. It does, however, go with Demonology from Magical Readathon, which is a book with the word shadow in the title. And I had a couple of these, one of which I tried to read in another TBR a couple months ago, but I just am not in the mood for that one right now. So I'm going to try to read for this prompt, The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is another one of those books that I don't fully know the entire premise of. I know that it takes place in Barcelona in 1945, that there's a war. I think it's more of like a magical realism instead of a straight fantasy. And I am fairly certain that this book is hugely important and popular and like groundbreaking in Spanish speaking communities, particularly in Spain, as it takes place in Barcelona. So I really hope that I love this as much as I think I'm going to. It feels like a book that's going to speak to me, like to the core of my heart, and that would just be wonderful. So, and it's one that I have literally wanted to read for years, and I just kept going back and forth about what cover I wanted because there's so many beautiful variations of this cover, and I ended up deciding I just wanted the hardback edition, whatever cover that ended up having, because I'm trying to get books that are going to last for sure. So this is what I ended up going with, and I like it. It's kind of got like a weathered look to it. I like that the spine looks like an actual book, because I'm pretty sure that it's like a story about a book within a book. Like The Shadow of the Wind is the name of a book, is the name of the book that is in this story. So I believe so anyway. But yeah, those are the books that I am going to attempt to read in April, God willing, that nothing crazy should occur to stop me from doing that. But here they are. Get this bookmark out from there. 7 is kind of a lot for me in terms of books this size. I read a lot of graphic novels. That ends up getting my monthly book count up, but like to read this many books of this style, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so there's my stack. That's pretty much it though for this video. Ow, I squished my finger. I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate you guys watching. And let's hope that I can actually get through all of these books. I want to be successful with the Magical Readathon, and I want to complete a TBR. I'm doing pretty well with my March TBR. There will be a wrap-up of that coming probably next weekend, because it'll be, you know, a little bit into April, and I'll have finished whatever I'm still working on, because I'm working on right now the Atlas 6. And I have like 1 or 2 more that I want to know if I can maybe just like very quickly squeeze in before the end of the month. So that video will be out sometime in early April. But yeah, so there's that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I will see you again next time, and I hope that you have a great week. Bye.